Welcome to lesson 2-2. That's topic 2, lesson 2. We're going to be dealing with rational numbers. A rational number, what is that? Well, a rational number is anything that can be written as a ratio, like this, A to B. So 12 is rational because I can write it as 12 over 1. 3/4 is rational because it's already something over something. 1 1/2 is rational because it can be written as 3/2. Decimals can often be rational also, or usually. Like, for instance, 5 7/10 can be written as 5 7/10, which can be written as 57/10. So that's what a rational number is. It can be written as a ratio. So here we go. Here's more practice. Write the following numbers as rational numbers. So 12, again, 12 over 1. 5 1/2. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11 halves. 7/10, just like it sounds. And 4 31 hundredths, which can be written as 431 hundredths. They're all rational. One thing you'll be asked to do is to write rational numbers on number lines. And so the first one here is a -4/3. To write this, that's rational, of course, it's something over something. So the easiest way to do to graph this is to change it to a mixed number, which is a -1 1/3. And let's break into thirds here. And here's a -1 1/3. Right about there is my -4/3. -1 5/10. I don't have to go to fractions here. This, of course, is rational because it's 1 5/10 negative, which is 15/10. Okay, so anyway, here's a 0, and here's a -1/2, and here's -1 and -1 1/2. So -1 5/10 goes right there. Okay, here's one for you to try. We have a -5/4 and a -1 75 hundredths. And we want to write them on the number line and perhaps put them in a form that makes putting them on the number line pretty easy. Remember our benchmark fractions for quarters. All right. Okay, 1/4, 2/4 or a half, and 3/4. Okay, the next thing you might be asked to do is compare and order rational numbers. So the key here is to have them in a form where you can see which is greater or which is lesser. And negative numbers really kind of stand out here. So if I have a -75 hundredths, a +1 75 hundredths, and 2/3, the negative number obviously is the furthest to the left. But plotting that will prove the case. So there we go, -75 hundredths. A +1 75 hundredths is going to be in the positive. Here we go, 1 75 hundredths. And 2/3 doesn't fit neatly on my number line, but I know that I could also kind of break this into thirds like that. And then 2/3 would show up right here. So if I wanted to write these from least to greatest, it's going to be a -75 hundredths, 2/3, and 1 75 hundredths. We also could write this like this. -1 75 hundredths is less than 2/3, which is also less than 1 75 hundredths. Remember to pay attention. One of the bigger mistakes kids make is it says least to greatest. They put them greatest to least. Or they ask for greatest to least, and you put least to greatest. So be careful with the verbiage. Okay, here's one for you to try. We want to know if 1/4 was ordered within the list of 2/3, 1 75 hundredths, and a -75 hundredths, between which two numbers would it be placed? So my advice to you is to draw a number line, plot the numbers, and then you can answer the question. Okay, we have two divers here, and we want to compare them. Remember, the further to the left on the number line we are, the smaller. So, or the further down if we're having a vertical number line. And so we can see here that a -40 is less than a -25. Or you could say a negative 25 is greater than, remember the alligator eats the bigger number, a negative 40. So Rashida is more negative in elevation, although she swam deeper. Here's one for you to try. We have the temperature on one night was negative 3 degrees, and at midnight the temperature dropped to negative 7. And we want to compare those two temperatures with greater than, less than, or equal to signs. And it says to explain the relationship. I would plot it. Do a number line that can show pretty well. Okay, we have some straight up practice here. We're going to write what each of the letters C, A, and B are, what their value is on the number line, and then we're going to put a series of numbers into order from greatest to least. And my advice there, again, is to put them in a form where you can easily compare it. I see an improper fraction there that maybe if that became a decimal, life would become swell. All right, that's it for today. Have a great day and see you later.